Hello, you beautiful person. I am back with more journaling prompts. In this case, these are going to be journal prompts for self knowledge, and I have my questions right here. These are some questions that I made myself a few years ago, but I've recently had the need to, or more like the want or the wish to rediscover myself. And while being in that state, I came up with a lot of questions, and these are some of these questions. Some of these questions are a little bit long, so they might seem like three questions in one, but I actually take them as one, and they're like correlated. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Why? What things or experiences happened to you that led you to believe that way? I consider myself an introvert, but what were those things that, first of all, led me to believe that I was an introvert? And also, what are the experiences that happened to me that actually prove me that I am an introverted? When was the best phase of your life and why? And with this one also comes, when was the worst phase of your life and why? This question doesn't really have a lot of buts. It's more like let yourself flow and write about that year, that month, that week that was like the best of your life. What did you do? How did you felt? What things build up to make it that special? And also, while answering these questions, try to be very, pay a lot of attention to how you speak. How you write, how you think. Try to pay a lot of attention, and also notice the tiny details that changed everything. Because once you realize what were those things that make the best phase of your life worth living or enjoyable, exciting, what were those things that actually make the best phase of your life the best phase of your life, so then you can implement those tiny little things that happen in the best phase of your life, so then your days can be better. You can actually try to be more conscious and try to implement those things that really make you happy, and those things that you really enjoy. You can try to implement them in your normal routine, or you can actually make those things more often. How would you describe yourself to someone? I know this question's a little bit difficult because depends obviously on the person, but we tend to not think nice things about ourselves. And if you want to expand yourself so much of I can do this and I can do that and I'm like this, I'm like that, do it. Feel free to actually write it. Okay? Don't feel like in a cage. You're not in a cage. You can actually describe yourself freely and openly. What you like, what you enjoy, what you like to do, how you really are. What is your idea of birthdays? Do you enjoy your birthday? Why? I really, really like this question. I've realized that people feel very different when it comes to birthdays. Some people don't really like it. Some people do really like it. Write about that. Do you feel special? Do you feel excited about this day? How do you feel about it? About a new year of life? How do you feel about getting older? About birthdays? How do you feel about yourself from last year? About like whatever age you were? How do you feel about that new number that comes with you? How do you feel? How do you feel of being 22, of being 23, of being 30? How do you feel? With birthdays and all this topic, I think it's very fun to explore, because it's not just about birthdays. It's about getting older and growing up and learning and accepting, and you're accepting this new phase of your life. Is there a moment in your life that changed how you treat people? How is my relationship with my parents? And this one also comes with, how is my relationship with my siblings? The parents' relationship and the sibling relationship, it's very different. And it's also correlated because it's family. So I really like to put these ones together. So explain your relationship with your parents. You can write about your dad first. You can write about your mom first. How was your childhood with them? How was growing up with them? Pay attention and notice the small little details that are important to you. Maybe you have a memory of your parents going somewhere, giving you a gift, giving you a hug, and loving you, or the other way around, your parents not being there for you. That's why it's so important to actually think about this, to actually have the time and the emotional intelligence. Think about it, to accept it, to work with it, not to work against it. You're not working against your past. You're not working against yourself or your mind. You're working with it. You have to work with it so then things can work. It's a teamwork here, your mind, your spirit, your soul, everything has to come together. You cannot leave peacefully the present when you're constantly pushing the past. How's your relationship with your siblings? I think it's the same thing. Notice those times where you actually felt like, oh, I have a brother, oh, I have a sister. If you do, what does it actually feel to have brothers, have sisters? But most importantly, how does it feel to be a sibling? And I think it's so bizarre, the idea of being born and having people in this earth that take care of you from your first weeks, your first days, and they take care of you, and they do everything for you, and they live for you, and they love you. And I think it's so wholesome, the idea of family and the idea of siblings and the idea of parents. What is something you like about yourself that you wish more people recognized, and why does it matter to you? Try to actually ask yourself the why. Why do I want people to recognize me for my brain? Why do I want people to recognize me for my art? Try to really dig into it. This can be a little bit linked to validation and the need for validation. So what are those things that you wish more people notice, and why? When do I feel the most trapped? And this one comes with, when do I feel the most free? With the answers of these two questions, you can actually see and look through your answers, and you can actually try to implement those things that really make you feel free. I think that feeling free comes with feeling peace, and peace is like a very good feeling. It has a very high vibration. So whatever makes you have this peace inside, and whatever makes you feel the most free, also try to dig into that. Try to look through your answers and try to realize what are those things that actually make you feel the most free, and you can then implement them into your life, so then you can have it more easy, I think. What is your biggest fear, and how does that fear affect your daily life? What feeling do you feel the most often, and how do they play a role in your life? Maybe you cry a lot. Maybe you get angry a lot. Dig into that. Look through that. Why do you get so angry? What are the reasons, How did you get to that point of being angry? And then to being angry all the time, What is the pattern that is repeating, that is constantly making you feel the same emotion all the time? What do you do when you procrastinate, and what led you to do it? How do you cope with things don't go your way? I think this question is related with control and controlling things. How do you feel when things don't go your way? What do you normally do when something doesn't go your way? Maybe you missed a plane. What do you do then? How do you cope with it? How do you cope with the stress of failing to do something you had to do, or I don't know, whatever? How does it actually work for you? How do you reintegrate something new into that thing that didn't work? I love journaling so much, and I share these journal prompts with you because I actually believe they are of great help for someone that is starting to journal. That's really it. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you try to write these journal prompts. I really hope that they actually help you. And I am so happy, and I'm so grateful that you are here and that you got to watch this video.